What's up, Internet? So, new format. A little awkward, but literally, the moment I finished recording my previous video, which was about a week ago, I tried to record another one, and I couldn't because my program melted down. So we're using a new program. This is OBS. I've never used it before, so I only know like 1% of how this works, so hopefully it's not too jarring. But when I did try to record with the previous thing, it was literally unwatchable, so this is kind of what we have to work with. I apologize if there's even more discrepancy with quality for the next episode or two. I'm really trying to figure things out here. But last episode we took out Sabrina, the teenage, or pre-teenage, whip-brandishing, monster-enslaving witch, and today we're gonna go kick Koga's face in. Fortunately we can fly, so let's do that. We can go to Fuchsia. And before we do that, I just remembered that there's like a whole route we have yet to take, plus we can try and capture a Snorlax. So I think we'll do that, then we'll go after Koga. I think is the plan. And I really have to make more of these videos. I like to have like 10 done in advance, and I've got, well, the last one I've done in advance goes up now, actually. I should probably make that go live once I'm done this, so I'm a little bit behind. Hopefully I get on top of that, but I've got so much stuff on the burners right now that I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't all overflow and create a horrible nuclear apocalypse. We'll buy a bunch of Ultra Balls, or Red Super Potion, but we'll buy about 20 Ultra Balls and see if we can take out a Snorlax while we're at it. Mainly because we don't have a lot of use for money at this point. Yeah, we're continuing on our little Pokemon adventure, clearing out all the scum of the earth trainers that dare to think that they could be better than us, because, as we all know, we are going to be the greatest trainer, like no one ever was. And therefore we have to kick all the other people's faces in to prove our superiority. And we're going to swap, oh, I already did, Saitama to front, so he gets the most experience because he's behind. And let's just clear out this route. This is, I think, where you run into Venomoths? Venonats, one of the two. I'm not sure what else we run into here, but we're mostly just going to focus on trainers because that's sort of our focus right now. We just want to clear them out to, losing my voice there, get more experience for our teams, so that not only are we prepared to go after Koga, but if we came up here after we took out Koga, I think we'd take less of, not less experience, but it would have less of an immediate impact on us. Whereas if we go through here at a lower level, take advantage of that, and then go after Koga, we'll take more of a, I think, advantage in terms of it being easier to take out Koga, and as a higher level we'll get more experience to reduce the amount to the next level with minimal amounts of effort comparatively. I'm just going to line up a whole bunch of words and pretend I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's Oddish. I always liked Oddish. Not a lot to talk about, honestly. Been playing a little bit of Pokemon Ash Gray in my spare time. I think my DS is breaking because it keeps freezing, although it might just be like a crappy pirate card. That's, or both, you know, both are entirely possible. Not really much else going on right now, honestly. It's just still trying to get used to my new computer, editing videos, trying to get back ahead of the game from my huge deficit. Well, I say deficit, I've got tons of videos done in advance, that's the whole point, so that when I need to swap computers or something else happens, you know, they're there, but still, it's been a hell of a transition, let's just say that. Oh, don't paralyze me. well, don't continue to paralyze affect me. Also, if it's super effective, it should be doing more damage. Yeah, not a lot happening other than just sort of trying to catch up on work that I've already sort of caught up ahead of time on, but want to continue to maintain being ahead. I've been playing a couple obscure Japanese or NES Game Boy games. That's fun. I've been really excited to play them for a while, so it's good I got to play them. Just trying to continue on with life as it comes at me, such as it is. Oh, we don't want to use Saitama against Pidgeotto. That's a bad... Static Kling's already ahead, though. Alright, we're going to use Static Kling anyway, just because type advantage. Oh, that could have been potentially scary. But, you know, when you hit me with your little crappy bird move, I'm gonna hit you with a giant lightning bolt and you'll regret ever using bird monsters. Okay, Farfetch'd. Part of me wants to say that Farfetch'd is like a grass type just because it has like that little stick or whatever, but it does not have any grass versions. Also, that is a really goofy looking sprite. I like Farfetch'd sprite. It's just silly looking. Like it's a big, just silly goose with a stick in its mouth because it thinks it's a dog fetching. Actually, I think that's supposed to be like an onion or something, so it's like trying to serve itself up on a platter to be cooked or something. If you really analyze some of these Pokemon designs, they're a little bit kind of weird. And then you've got Doduo, which is like a two-headed ostrich that somehow mutates a third head. That's a weird design too. And Pokemon had some really bizarre designs even before they started using like Ice Cream Cone Monster and Garbage Bag Monster. Also, just Garbage Bag Monster. Who thought that was a good idea? That's one of the weakest design monsters, and that's including almost everything from 4th generation. Because 4th generation was generally just weak, but Garbage Bag Monster, really? Uh-oh. Static Kling is getting further ahead of the pack. That's not ideal. But at the same time, he's the only one that has type advantage, and we should take advantage of that. Because Saitama cannot take another hit. And we really need to get him leveling. Uh-oh. He's using classic me strategies. Not good. But we got him all the same because of course we did. Because Static Kling is just that awesome. Take that, Bird Keeper. Yes, it is tragic. Do we have a thing we can heal Saitama with? Revive? We don't. We'll just make a quick fly back because why not? I think it's advantageous to heal up if we're going to try and clear up this huge experience dent in the party. See, this is what I wanted to avoid from the start, is I just want to keep all my monsters the same level, but it's not too bad if one monster's a few levels ahead, but, you know, that's a very, very slippery slope. That sort of leads to one of the reasons why I hated playing RPGs as a kid, even though I loved them, was just, I hate having to grind for experience. I hate that RPGs are based on numbers, and that's why I love action RPGs, or loved them more when I was a kid. I've since grown a lot more patient. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I have gotten a lot more patient over the years for grinding and stuff. But when I was a kid, like, I'd often end up into a situation where it's just like run from a fight, run from a fight, run from a fight. Oh, suddenly everything's steamrolling me, and I've got like one guy who can handle the fight, but everyone else just gets completely destroyed. It's not a good position to be in. We'll use consecutive normal punches. Go! Oh, I watched One Punch Man again. like all the way through. It's still funny to watch, and still an excellent deconstruction of the whole superhero genre, addressing that one thing that no Superman fan wants to acknowledge. One Punch Man is just brilliant. Alright, Doduo, we still should be okay, I think. Just gonna keep consecutive normal punching the enemies to death. Like, that's the nice thing about Hitmonchan here, is it might be a little bit slow and it might not have a lot of, necessarily might not have the damage output that, say, Hitmonlee will get, but the simple range of elemental attacks it'll get by the end of it, if we can put up with it to that point, will at least make it kind of decent to back up any monster should it come to that. As long as it doesn't get, like, one-shotted swapping in. But it's kind of important to have that sort of spread. So a character that can cover a bunch of different elemental attacks, it's definitely beneficial. It's generic beauty. Maybe that's her name, and she's just really, really vain. And she thinks she's a beauty. Serious punch, go! As long as you don't, you know, stun me or poison me or something, I think I'm okay. Although Saitama might need that revive soon. Which is probably for the best. I think we should save that inventory slot for something. In fact, I'm pretty sure we need that inventory slot. In fact, we need like 3 inventory slots very quickly coming up. And I'm not sure how close we are to pushing the limit. We might be at the limit right now, for all I know. And I'd hate to have to, like, just shuffle all my crap through my inventory again. You didn't ask for this, but you received it. Much like that guy from Deus Ex. He didn't want to get beaten to a pulp and shoved through a glass window, but he did. And then he got robot pants for it. That was a good game, Deus Ex Human Revolution. Aside from the boss fights. Get past the boss fights and it was pretty good. The sequel to it, Mankind Divided, not so much. That had one boss. That game just felt incomplete. Although I will admit, the first time I played it, I spent days just exploring the all the different, like, vent shafts and whatever from the first town, which I believe was Prague. I've heard Prague is quite nice. That sound is driving me crazy. I mean, I tend to, like, tone down the volume at the end. Not really because I think it's annoying, but because my editing programs tend to make it sound a little bit louder, so I think the mix is off. But by the end, you probably won't hear much of this sound from this, and I apologize for that. But God, that low health damage just grates on you so much. Alright, level 37. Nice work, Saitama. You're catching up. Which means we should be able to swap monsters now, because I think I have like a level 36. Yes, I do. Let's use Laggy for a little while. Out of my way. Even if I do lose, I'm not going to fork over all my cash. That's not how this works. Generic biker. You know, back in the day, I was just sort of thinking about this earlier today, but it's like, you know, back in the day, 151 monsters, well, 150 because, you know, no one had Mew, but 151 monsters. I'm just going to repeat that, 150, because I just completely wasn't paying attention to what I said. But, like, it just felt like 150 monsters. That's enough. But going back and playing this, seeing as, like, every archetype character just falls into they're going to use A, B, or C monster. It really does make it feel like they needed more monsters than just 150, because at the end of the day, when you've got, like, say, 15, 20 different trainer types, but they all fall into these categories, and they all have like 1 to 3 different individual monsters. It's like you're gonna run into the exact same combinations over and over, and it just it does feel kind of boring. I don't know, I guess that's why back in the day, even though I played the ever-living hell out of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, I think the one I restarted the most was Silver, back when I had it. And after that, you know, it was Ruby for me. Just play that over and over because there were so many. But at the same time, Ruby, it threw so many different monsters out the window. Like, it lost so much of what made Silver so great. Which was, you know, you had the first generation and second generation monsters together. Hell, you had the whole first and second generation of the world together, too. That was one of the biggest issues I think Gen 3 had. Because Gen 3 was awesome. I would hazard to say it was probably my favorite. And I'm so out of practice, I probably said all of that already in the course of this series. But, you know, Pokemon got better. It got better, and then it just kind of... I think at Generation 4 it just kind of hit a wall, in that I think the developers just thought, you know, all we have to do is just keep adding stuff. And at a point it just sort of lost what made it so good. And then a little while later, I won't say it got better, but it certainly improved over what 4 had, because 4 had one good monster, in my opinion anyway. And then you've got like, what was it, X and Y, that had like the X and like the form changes with the little wristwatch or whatever. And I really enjoyed that aspect, in the sense that it went back to the old monsters, and it's sort of gave them relevance in a new world. And yeah, I suppose if you're like competitive, a lot of the old monsters are still good comparatively, just knowing what some of them can do. But at the same time, giving them like a whole new fresh coat of paint with like a new set of tricks in its new evolution or whatever, that really, I think, helped. But I don't know, I played Sun and Moon. I played Sun, and I don't know, it felt short. It felt like it was lacking a lot of really interesting monsters. Like, it had a few monsters I really genuinely liked, like that weird Ghost Pikachu thing. As much as I hate Pikachu, I like that weird knockoff Ghost Pikachu. That was a cool monster to me. There was that, what was it, Silvally. Even though you couldn't get to the end of the game, Silvally really resonated with me, and like immediately I just fell in love with him. And I think has since sort of become one of my most favorite monsters. But I don't know, Sun and Moon just felt like it didn't quite have the, I don't want to say the loss, but it didn't quite have the same appeal that say Ruby or Silver had, or even X and Y. I don't think I even finished Black and White. I don't even remember which one I have. Mine had the black dragon thingy on the cover. That's the one I had. I never even bothered playing the second one in that series. But I don't think I ever bothered finishing that one. Just because it felt like... I don't want to say it felt like a cash-in, but it felt, again, like another Pokemon Gen 4 Ruby Diamond Pearl, where it's just a more monsters without really any sort of substance behind them. And of course, as I started saying like 15 minutes ago, terrible monster designs. I mean, an ice cream cone, I'll accept ice cream cone monster because that's kind of goofy, but a garbage bag monster, no. Oh, that's less than ideal. I guess we're gonna throw Bryant out just because, We have the almighty earth-shattering earthquake. Which even after all these years, Earthquake is still one of, I think, one of the best moves in the game. A Raichu. We'll stick with Bryant then, I think. I like the curly cute tips of his ears. I think they're funny looking. That's just joyous. Take that, Raichu. Good work, Good work, Raichu. No, good work, Bryant. Alright. Do you have something that my winged friend can destroy me with? Or are you also equipped with Pikachus? Because that's less than ideal for me. Yeah, okay, this I can deal with. It's not a great, not a great matchup, but I can deal with it. We'll use Razor Wind, why not? You know, one thing I miss with new Pokemon, I think, is I'd like to have more callbacks to old Pokemon sound effects. Like that fly sound effect, that doodle-doodle-doot, which is also like the recover sound effect. I wish that was still in Pokemon. Like, I just like that sound. It's a nice sound effect. It's classic. Wigglytuff. You mean Wiggly isn't so tough? And that's mainly because your Wigglytuff isn't Jiggle Jim. Yep, he might only be like level 9, but he's still awesome. Your Wigglytuff isn't. In fact, you should just name your Wigglytuff Punching Bag. Well, that said. Quick attack. I don't even think that's necessary. Oh, so close. Okay, so we've been hit 4 times at this point. 6 times, because every attack he hits hit twice. That's not Double Slap. Double Slap is one iteration of that attack. That is, what is it, Penta Slap? Hexa Slap. One of those things. Look, it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm very tired. I've been wrestling with cables for the past half hour because I accidentally unplugged, like, everything. Trying to, figure out a sound issue. Oh, that's the thing I learned between, last episode and this. Apparently my computer's HDMI cable is shaped differently than a standard HDMI cable. Which is why the, sound coming out of my monitor prior was really, really tinny. I just figured I needed to invest in speakers. But, no, apparently it's just... The HDMI cable I have connected to my Xbox One does not work entirely with my PC. I mean, it kind of does, but... apparently it just does not have the soundscape of it, or whatever. It's kind of weird, though, because, like, one HDMI cable, it's got, like, one side that's got, like, a jagged point on it. But you can still fit a standard HDMI cable in there. In fact, I didn't have any problems fitting my old, weird, standard HDMI cable in there. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I had to shuffle some stuff around and unplug some cables, I would have never found that out. I feel like that's the thing I should know. Who can I swap to now? I guess Bryant will be swapped to. I've heard of a lot of legendary Pokemon. Dude, you're gonna have to be way more specific. I mean, given the fact that you're using birds doesn't really help me any. I guess Ice Beam? I don't know what that's gonna do to you. It did enough. Honestly, I remember Ice being an element that just kind of sucked because fire took it out. I never really bothered to study up on what Ice was good at. I'm a little worried about taking out this this Snorlax though, because like ideally Ice Beam freeze it and then catch it, but at the same time, you know, if we're so much higher level against it, because I don't remember what level the last Snorlax was, we might very well just murder it. That'd be a little disappointing. Disheartening is what that would be. Hooray! Alright, I think we're catching up. You keep fighting, Muck. I think you'll do quite nicely, Bryant. Horn attack! Let's see if he gets the point. Well, don't worry. You can just needle him until he does. I guess he thought you were pretty sharp. Alright. I remember this route being kind of... yeah, I was about to say, I remember this route being kind of awkward and just sort of a weird zigzaggy maze, and well, here we are. This is the part I remember. I don't remember this route very well. I usually just took the bike path. Uh-oh. Quick. Let's see if he gets your point. Alright, a Doduo. Should we swap to something? We'll keep going. I feel like I should swap to Flammy, but at the same time, I think Bryant's got a good pace going. Hate to ruin that. I'm a little worried about how big this route is, though, because honestly, what I remember is this little zigzaggy path that we just came to being literally right out of the gate of Fuchsia. And then I think after this there's a bunch of piers where we fight a bunch of water trainers, and then we get to Snorlax. I think. Which means we might have to go to a Pokemon Center somewhere in between. I think there's an item over there. Okay, let's fight. This is actually factual information. You can buy TMs at Celadon. You can buy some really good TMs at Celadon, that's why we did. But, yes, there's only 5 people that have HMs. Which is why we know, statistically speaking, it was impossible for Fapimon to use Cut to get the Thunder Badge. He had to go behind us after we used Cut because we obtained it. And because there's only 5 HMs ever, it means he could not logically have it. And this person just backed that information up with that statement. We are one of the few people. In fact, we have 3/5 of them. Also, we're about to get the other 2, probably by next episode. I think we're probably going to end this one after we deal with Snorlax. I know we said we were going to go after Koga, but this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. And that's mainly because this route is a lot longer than I remember it being. We're literally just getting to the point where I thought this route began, so... Alright, now we can swap to Flammy, I think. I'm not sure I'd say this area's good design. I think this is just awkward. Let's see if we can get a shortcut out of here. Although I would like to try and fight as many of these people for their experience as possible. That's kind of the whole point as to why we're over here on a route that's basically redundant. Alright, Flammy. Body Slam. Nice work. That was respectable. Just keep doing that. And this is why I picked you, because I knew you were the strongest starter. And also one of my favorites. Because Charizard is the best. That is undisputable fact. That's why he gets 2 Mega Evolutions, one of which that actually turns him into a dragon, even though he already is one. Silly bird. Ah, there we go. Flammy evolved. Or evolved leveled. I guess we'll stick with Flammy because we basically brought everything up to this level. Alright, we'll fight you. This area just kind of seems gimmicky, honestly. And I don't think it's a particularly interesting gimmick. I think it's just more frustrating and time-consuming than anything. Seriously, what level do we learn Flamethrower? I need a fire attack on my fire monster, please. Boop. Oh, good, and I'm about to get poisoned. Yep. Honestly, you don't think you get poisoned as often once you get out of Viridian Forest and get away from the Weedles. So how the hell am I getting poisoned at literally every chance to get poisoned? This sucks. Alright, that's 2. I don't particularly want to go back to a Pokemon Center again to heal up. I mean, I think we're going to have to. Let's see if we can take out the other one while poisoned. You, fight me. Yes, but is it a foul wind? And also, should I be standing downwind or upwind of you? What sort of wind situation are we talking, guy? Body Slam. That seems to be very, very useful. I think I've underestimated Body Slam. Unless I'm thinking of Slam. One of those attacks I remember just being not very good, but both seem to be doing their job. I think one can cause paralysis, the other can make your opponent flinch. So I genuinely don't know why I had such a low opinion of these attacks. Alright, that's another Pidgey down. Ooh, mixing it up with a Spearow, because you only have like 2 bird monsters to go with. Either a Pidgey or a Spearow. Because that's what you bird keepers are kind of stuck with. Because, you know, my whole point like 20 minutes ago. If you shoehorn your total pool of monsters based on your character type, and you only have 150 choices, and each character type only gets like A, B, or C, you really don't have a lot to choose from. And that's always felt like it was kind of the antithesis of what Pokemon stood for. It's, you know, you gotta mix and match, you know, find new friends, and create like your perfect team. Sorry, Loggy. Okay. You always go with bird Pokemon. See, this is my whole point, though. Mix it up. Try a water type. Try a bug type. Well, don't try a bug type unless it's like maybe Scyther. But my point is, if you stick only to what your whole character class has forced you into, you will never become a better trainer, bird keeper. You will never break that mold of just being a simple bird keeper. You will never defeat anyone because they have an electric monster. I mean, hell, as much as I hate the terrible mascot of this series, Pikachu, that monster will wreck your entire team. And that's your problem. Mix it up. Seriously, it's life-changing. You might actually win a fight if you did. I mean, I'm not saying I'm much of a life coach, bird keeper, but you have options. You just choose not to use them. And it's baffling why you make that choice. Also, maybe try not the mohawk look. It's not that flattering. Hey, PP up. Ah. I want that, though. What can we get rid of? I want that X accuracy. I'm not sure if we'll ever make use of it, but I want it. Well, yeah, let's use it on Loggy. Why not? And the question is, what do we want this PP up for? For use with, but I'm not sure right off. Okay, now is it that post? Or is it the post that we just found a PP up at? See, you gotta give slightly better directions than just over there or by that thing. I know a lot of people who give just generic orders like that. Like, oh, you know, just bring me that thing. It's like, okay, I don't know what that thing looks like. Well, it's over by the other thing. It's like, what other thing? That could literally be describing anything in the world. It could be describing me standing here, listening to you prattle on about completely vague, like, directions. Give me something better to work with other than it's by that thing. And it's frustrating because it's usually like the people who will get mad at you and have some sort of like directive pull over you that make these vague, just generic orders, like your boss or your manager or whatever. It's like, yeah, I have to follow your orders and stuff, that's fine, but just give me some clear instruction. Please. My dad's a lot like that, actually. So when I'm, like, over and helping him out with stuff, it's just kind of frustrating to just hear him, you know, give me orders about stuff. It's like, but I'd love to help you. Just tell me what you actually want. Also, I at least appreciate that she had a Meowth. If nothing else, that meant her team was a little bit more varied than the rest of these clowns. Yes, my badges are cool. I earned them by, well, mostly beating up girls at this point. And unfortunately, you're not going to buck that trend. I'm going to beat you up like every other girl I seem to run into in this series. And it makes me sad that that's the case because I'm not that violent towards women. I like women. I don't want to beat up every girl I see, but Pokemon, you're kind of making me have to do that. Zap. Alright, well there's that. Tell me more about how my badges are awesome. Thank you for pointing out things that we both already know, Pokemon Trainer. Huh, okay, calcium. I guess we need to use that PP up now. What do I want to use that for? Oh no. I don't think Saitama particularly needs it. I guess I could use it on Bryant. He doesn't have a lot of Earthquake, and that's a really useful move. Yeah, I think Bryant's gonna get PP up for Earthquake. Because I think that's the one move we presently have that would be the most beneficial for. Okay. Now, I don't remember what Calcium does. I'd be inclined to think Defense. But it might be HP. We'll give it to Loggy. Special. I'm not sure how much that's going to benefit me in the future. Okay. Hey, we finally got it. I'm going to avoid those two people. I know that's the whole point. Oh my god, how many more fights do I need to run into? I was trying to avoid fights at this point. Alright, more Pidgeys. I'm just gonna keep thunderbolting everything, I guess. I mean, you'd think striking things with lightning to one-shot them wouldn't lose its allure, but, constantly running into the same monsters that die in one shot to the exact same strategies, it does get a little old, Pokemon. Ooh, Rattata. What was that, Halle Berry line? Do you know what happens when lightning strikes a toad? Same thing as everything else. That applies to rats, too. They explode. Ooh, I can't do that to a Pikachu, though. Earthquake! Become devoured by Gaia's maw. Or something dramatic and actually proper English. We'll stick with Bryant, why not? He seems to have things under control. Ice Beam! Let's mix things up. I really do quite like Ice Beam on Bryant. I think that's going to be quite an effective ability. Yeah, you did lose. Let's swap to Bryant, why not? He needs some love. Oh, more bird monsters. And I'm betting you have a mohawk too, don't you? What Pokemon is that? That doesn't look like a Pokemon. Like, at all. It seems weird that you'd give him like a bird prop, but not actually like make it a Pokemon bird. Alright, Pidgeotto. Hey, look! Instant chicken nuggets. Freeze-dried for your convenience. Alright. Let's fight. I think I found those same carbohydrates, or carbos, as you call them. Did you use them and then put them back? Or did you just leave them there? Did I give my monsters carbohydrates that you licked to claim some sort of weird dominance over, just to prove you could? Junior trainer who's proclaiming they find things that I've also found? Weird. Or maybe somebody's just restocking the hidden carbohydrates every time a new trainer passes by. Who knows? Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. That seems to work out pretty well. And next is Horsey, the seahorse, of all things. I haven't seen one of them in a while. You know, you'd think a small little sea creature would probably be more, you know, vulnerable to, you know, getting frozen over. Seahorses are just weird creatures in general, though. One of the few creatures where the males bear the young. Oh, a cut thing. Shame I don't have a thing that can use cut right now. Okay, what can I use? Let's use Logi. Yes, I have one in my inventory. I should probably throw it out. I don't need it. Is it just me or do both Junior Trainer male and female look basically identical? They have the exact same outfit. We'll just Miss. Oh, don't poison me. Please. For once in my life, I'd like to not walk around completely poisoned. Yeah, you can focus your energy how you like, you big spiky, like, bunny thing? I think that's what I'd classify, like, Nidoran as. A big spiky bunny. But, well, yeah, just focus your energy. You can kick my ass. And now I'm poisoned. Well, the nice thing about Logi is I can do this. Problem is, he can hit me with poison, sting and, you know, poison me again. I mean, heck, I'm going to use my Poke Flute, wake myself up, and get poisoned immediately. Nice cameo by the Moonstone that this guy wants so badly. I'm poisoned again. Awesome. Well, we can do this as many times as it takes. No, we can't. We can do it like 8 times. You got this, Logi. That's my point. I'm probably not making that clear, but that is, in fact, my point. Let's just do that. See how you feel, Nidorino. The guy, Chris, is poisoned. Oh, that's fair. How am I missing so much? Slime just really low chance of hitting? There we go. Genuinely no idea why that took so long. But it did. Now, what was that about a Moonstone? That's true. You could. You know what? We're going to do a good deed for the day. Yep, we're just going to hand this over. There you go. It's right in front of you, guy. Right over here. Right in front of you. Now go evolve your monster and challenge people to become the best trainer other than me, because I'm clearly the best trainer. You can get a fishing rod here if I recall correctly. Electricity. Interesting. Ooh, that's a new sprite, I think. I like that sprite. Okay, this might not be a good pairing. I'm just gonna swap to Bryant. Yeah, but then this happened. You can protect yourself all you like, but, no, I think not. Hey, an Electrode. Again, you can protect yourself all you like, but then this happens. And that was how effective that was. In the sense that it wasn't remotely. Is that guy just holding like a soldering iron or something? Or like a cattle prod? What is that? Because I don't think that's like a whip. Although that said, it does look like he's holding a whip on the other end, unless that's an electrical cord. I mean, it's a rocker, so you'd think it'd be some kind of instrument, but that doesn't look like an instrument. Ah. Finally, we've made it to our goal. Dear Lord, we are in trouble. Well, let's see how well this goes. I'm going to try and freeze him out of the gate, and if that doesn't work, I don't know what we're going to do. Also, that is the second of 2 times we will hear that full sound clip. Okay, Snorlax. I like that sprite. You're level 30. That's a little worrying. Ice beam? Please don't die. Also, please freeze to death. Oh, hey, he didn't die. I was a little bit worried he would. Freeze. 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 Yes! Alright. One more should do it. Alright, let's try catching this guy. Okay, you joker. Alrighty. We caught us a Snorlax. Mission freaking accomplished. Yes. What should we name him? Oh, I know. Nope. Snoozy, I think. Yeah. And that's where he'll live for the rest of eternity. Because we don't really particularly need Snoozy. I just really wanted him. But, hey. We set ourselves a goal and we did it. Awesome. Let's heal up. Or rather, we will disintegrate and clone our monsters. You know, as they do at these places. And, I hope you enjoyed this little quest. And, you'll join me next time, where we're going to take on Koga and steal ourselves another gym badge. Anyway, until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.